bit of behind the scene footage on our way to the cinematic shoot for the Wolf Takes a Bite Season 5 intro.
Welcome to this behind the scenes footage of Wolf Takes a Bite. John, what's up?
I just wanted to hear you start an episode for once. Tired of my own voice right now.
I'm happy to do it whenever.
Yeah, I'm just tired of my own voice. We just got done recording the premiere for season 5.
I'm very excited about this season, and I'm very excited to talk about the obnoxious amount of work that went into this intro that we did.
Obnoxious is an understatement.
Yeah. So first off, a little bit about the inspiration, right? So there was one main driving component for me when coming up with this intro, and that was Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Right. But then, and we'll kind of talk about it in just a second. Are you doing more behind the scenes?
I want to. Can I?
Yeah, I don't care.
What
is this? Who cares?
Fuck it. I don't know. Hey, buddy.
What this?
Hey,
Post that to TikTok right this very second.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
Right this
Without
very
any explanation at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Season 5.
For sure.
All
right, go ahead and keep talking while I post that to
anyway,
TikTok.
so the Sherlock Holmes was obviously ignorant. Like the biggest thing, and the reason all this came apart, could you not?
So sorry.
Is the reason this whole thing came about was because we purchased a cinema camera from Blackmagic Design, and we knew we wanted to get the most out of that camera, the one that's filming currently. And so I wanted to do something a little bit more cinematic, kind of go into an area that we've never done before at Grayman Media. That was like the whole big thing. I'm trying. Okay, so
It's hard.
I also had to. I loved the idea of having a map, and because all the topics that we've talked about things in North America, South America. I don't know any continent that we haven't touched. Maybe Antarctica.
Yeah, and we have listeners all over the world too. So
Yeah, we
that
also
works.
Exactly.
Make sure you zoom down on him during that first 10 minutes.
So, what? So I made a map, which was like 2 hours worth of work. And I remember sending you the first 10 seconds of the video.
So you made that from scratch?
Yeah.
I'm so shocked.
Yeah, I could show you the whole. It was an ordeal.
Because if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Mac have that whole sequence thing?
Who?
Like Apple. It's a drag and drop.
I didn't make this on Apple.
Oh.
I don't make anything on
What are you making it on?
DaVinci.
DaVinci.
Yeah.
The Pro Studio?
DaVinci Resolve. Yeah.
Yeah, the Studio Pro?
Yeah. I use the Fusion tab quite a bit.
Nice. That's skill right there.
So I made the map, and I sent you the first 10 seconds of the video. This is one of my favorite things.
That got hard.
I sent it to you. I was like, hey, check this out so far what I've done here. And in the very beginning, you guys just saw it, but the Wolf Takes a Bite logo pans just out of the way of the camera, so it looks like you're almost zooming past it, right? And then the map happens. It took me maybe 30 seconds to keyframe the Wolf Takes a Bite logo just doing that. And you were like, love what you did with the logo. Said nothing about the map. And I was like, you stupid son of a bitch.
Because I thought the map was just a drag and drop, copy paste kind of thing you got off the internet. Because I've seen that style before, and nothing against you.
Yeah.
I like where you went with it.
Yeah.
I see why you did it.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel the need to comment on it. I didn't know you did it from scratch.
Yeah, the map.
I would have said something different.
The actual image of the map was something that I got from YouTube.
Okay,
or not
sick.
from YouTube.
Well,
from Google. I took
somewhere.
the map.
Internet, yeah.
But the animation of the map itself, the line, all that, the drop shadow on the line to make it look 3D, all that was me.
Ooh.
All I took from Google was the map image.
See, I didn't even know that until now.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about that?
That's hot.
Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, well, we've got this map thing and we've got a travel thing going on. So what can I have John do? Call you up. We have a long conversation about it. And you're like,
I was working too.
You were like, you were like, let me get home. I've got some ideas. And then you want to kind of share about how that footage at the beginning where you're kind of in your office.
Yeah, honestly, I did this at really fucking late at night. And I thought I was going to do it with some help, and I was going to set up lights, and I was going to do all this other stuff. And then I was like, the only thing that I wanted to make sure that I did, because I didn't get any help. I didn't have as much of a ability to do what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I got my phone because that's what I used to record on, but now we're not.
Yep.
But I wanted to make sure that I had that alien logo.
Yeah.
Because I bought that like when we started this.
Yeah.
And it's never made its way into our content.
Love it.
Because I just have it in my office. And I don't even turn it on. Like, even when I go to edit, I just like walk right past that fucking thing. I'm like, I need this in the shot.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I got it.
Yeah.
For today. So I made sure I focused on that. I wanted that shot. And then I took like 3 videos from 3 different angles. And I wanted to go kind of like directionally because you didn't give me much to go off of.
No.
And I was just like, cool. I kind of want this to kind of be like a spoof of the Office intro with the fucking printer and the paper. Like that was my whole idea with that.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get that. And then I was like, also I need to look a little crazy. So I just recorded me doing shit at my computer and wanted to show that off a little bit too because I'm pretty proud of that setup. It's been a nightmare in a project.
When I received, because in a similar way that I didn't give you much direction, I was just kind of like vague, like, hey, dude, just do some stuff in the office. You didn't give me any information when you sent me those on Dropbox, right? So I'm downloading all of them and I get them into the project and I see a very clear narrative. And when you saw it, you were like, I'm so glad that you picked up on what I was doing, and I'm happy that I was able to deliver that. But then as we were kind of adding more and more stuff to it, we were like, man, this is gonna be long. Well, since it's gonna be long, let's just do it, right?
Might as well make a whole ass thing.
And
out of
so
it.
then
It's only 3 minutes.
the next thing was you were on site somewhere,
Yep.
and to kind of give the illusion that like it's John. The narrative was built through your videos that John has done the research and is now on his way to the studio to expose some kind of secret on the show.
Oh, not even that. You're skipping whole past like the country development thing because I was working and I can't say where, what, for why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I was somewhere working and I happened to be like having access to a certain location that I normally wouldn't have access to. And I was like, Devin just told me I need to look like I'm in different parts of the world, but I can't leave my state. So I got to come up with some creativeness. So I was like, well, there's a field behind my house that I could fucking use, and I just want to be weird. You even cut a whole thing from it because you were concerned about 2A activism.
Yep.
Because I decided to run through a field with a rifle.
And look, the shot looked cool. It looked cool as fuck. It just wasn't. It wasn't for this. It didn't make sense. It also didn't make sense in the actual narrative. Like it to me, the narrative is like you've just come up with this crazy information that came off the printer. That's
Well,
why
I had to
you did
find the
research.
information first.
Right,
That's
but then,
my research.
well, you had like the information, like you had the hints, and then you went out into the field, like doing the research. And when I did try to fit the shot of you with the gas mask and the rifle, it just didn't make sense in the rest of the cut. It didn't make a lot of sense.
That's fair, and that's why I defaulted back. I had a friend that had ability to give me access to a very industrially dark looking area, so I was able to use that as part of a shot.
Yeah.
And then aside from that shot, I think the only other one I had a lot more fun with was still back in that field when I was crawling.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Well, and I gotta say, like, without any direction, it's mind blowing how we
In
think.
sync.
Yeah, how we think alike. Because when I was receiving the footage, I kind of had a rough idea of what I wanted, but I wasn't going to give you any direction because I wanted you to be John. I wanted you to do your thing. And when I was receiving like that one shot where you walk up on the camera, but you're not looking at the camera, you're like looking around. I only used it for like a fraction of a second.
Oh, when I was doing through the low angle through the grass.
No. When you were on location and you had like your light up and you walked right up to the camera, like all the way.
Oh, right, yeah.
That was such a good shot. It worked perfect.
So I'm glad you saw that because again, I hit record, walked away. Didn't want that used at all.
No.
I wanted you to get me walking towards it, and you picked right up on what I wanted.
Well, and I was scrubbing through all of the footage you gave me to try to find where, because I knew each like video.
I cut shit in my head.
Yeah, well, but I was just I didn't know.
Wanted to give you
obviously.
as much. I just wanted to give you as much raw as I could.
Yeah. And as I'm scrubbing through, I'm like because each video was like roughly a minute, and I knew each segment was only going to have a few seconds. So I'm scrubbing through the videos and I'm trying to find exactly what part of the video I want to use. And that was just so perfect. And I was like, that's what I'm looking for, baby.
Yep.
And through that, the narrative was becoming very obvious. And then I started listening to the music and keying scenes in my head as to what I wanted next, which is when then me and you met up and we did the next part, which all started driving on Bardstown Road
Yep.
at ridiculous speeds.
I mean, ridiculous is a little stretch.
I disagree, but I was in the back seat, unseat belted. I felt very much.
You never ran in the back of a pickup going down the freeway at 75 miles an hour?
Maybe when I was like 9, when I didn't care about death at all.
Yeah. I mean, it was slower than that.
Yeah, I guess. I was being rocked around quite a bit, but the shot looked good. You were worried about the lighting. The lighting was great. It looked so good.
You did a nice little vignette. It looked good.
Yeah. And then we get to the park.
Which immediately I was like, oh, there's people playing tennis. I'm going to be arrested. Saw those guys. I was like, oh.
You wanted to, like,
I was trying to power slide that motherfucker.
Yeah, you were. The scene that we had to create was you driving really close. With the way the lens works, you have to come up close.
Yeah, I
so
didn't know how that lens was looking, and I wish I did beforehand because my original plan for that was to come straight at the camera, pull the e-brake, which doesn't work really in my truck, by the way. I didn't tell you that. Pull the e-brake, hit the brake, and then do a power slide and make the vehicle be at a full, like, side frontal of the camera.
Glad we didn't do that.
Then hop out of the truck and come straight at it.
Yeah.
I could have pulled it off
I'm so
if
glad
my
we didn't.
e-brake worked.
But we got the shot.
We got a good shot.
But not before
The cop showed up.
the cop showed up.
That was fun.
On this goddamn camera the whole time. All right, come on, one more time. Let's get this shot. Get the fuck out of here.
5-0 rolled up in the middle of our shoot. That's what we get for doing dumb shit. All right, he's gone. Let's go fast again.
No,
One more shot.
no, we got it.
I was and we were on. You don't know this, but we had radios.
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
was in the back of the parking lot on my radio. Like, yo, Devin, fucking cops are here, man.
I thought you were fucking with me because I turned and
I don't
turned
joke
around,
about that.
I turned around in
don't
one
joke.
direction and I saw nothing because the cop had just passed this out, and I'm like looking around. I'm like, he's fucking with me. And then
This
I
is
see
like
him
after our
driving.
6th attempt.
Yeah,
like,
oh, yeah,
of
yeah,
me
yeah.
power sliding in
Yeah.
an empty parking lot, not empty, still people around, but empty section of parking lot.
Yeah. And you're like, dude, we got to get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, let's go one more time. We got the shot. It was the shot we used.
Yeah,
It was the take.
that was a good take.
And then we were like, let's get the fuck out of here. We drive back, and then
Motherfuckers, cops are following me, man. They're following me. They showed up again. They knew where I was. It's almost like the government knows.
yeah, it was wild. It was really crazy. So then we got to get that shot where we're walking through the hallway, right? And
That transition was fire. And considering that it was not planned to go that way, it turned out phenomenal.
the transition,
The transition was planned, but we expected a different transition.
yeah. Yes.
And the way it got cut together actually worked out better than what it was originally designed.
So when I was playing this in my head, and I'm trying to keyframe everything to the music to like really sync it up and make it look good. And I'm like, okay, well, we want Jessica in here doing some kind of setup thing. We want Jessica in it because obviously she does all of our promotional images. She does so much for Gray Man, but also Wolf as well. Even though she's not directly related.
I mean, she is related. She's married.
Well, she's not directly related to the show. And I'm like, okay, we'll get that. But then I want to be over here, like rushing John in to get to the studio while he's rushing with his papers and his, I thought that was a really good idea.
We did it all one shot, no breaks.
But I was like, how do I film and also stand in a different place at the same time? So I was like, okay, well, I'll just pan really quick.
It's hard being a director, isn't it?
And we were like, shut up. We were like, We were like, oh, we'll just add like some zoom or some motion blur to create kind of a seamless cut. And it turned out, yeah, just like you said, the camera actually, we didn't even need to add anything. It just looked so good. And just being able to make it look like one continuous shot was like exactly what I wanted.
Which sounds like we're ecstatic about relatively a simple technique.
Yeah.
That
of
people
course.
and kids use on TikTok all the time. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like for us, because of what we're using and how we have to advance our editing and what we're trying to do production wise, it feels like more of a big deal than
Well,
it really is.
for me-
it is a big deal because it looks great.
For me, it was just, we don't do any of that.
We don't normally do.
We've
this
never
is it.
done-
This is our setup.
Yeah, this is, the setup is one camera at a table.
And we want to do more. We want to do more
obviously,
like that,
and
yeah.
that was like why we,
And that's where we come to the photo shoot at the end there.
Yeah, and then obviously we want to get some promotional images.
Yeah.
Well, in the cinematic,
The costumes, the walk, the walk,
which
and
we got coats from Amazon, and that had a 7-day try. And we shipped them back.
not even a dent.
No, we didn't have to pay for it. Like, this is how broke we are.
It works.
Yeah, it worked great. And you luckily had a bunch of props, like the
Flintlock.
flintlock, but the overall theme of what I was going for just really started to come together, and I was so happy that you had all those. Great.
It was making a lot of noise. And
Yeah, I
couldn't
know.
Stop
I don't know
fucking
why
with it.
you can't control your hands.
I'm fucking ADD. Like you said, I'm autistic. I don't know. Fuck.
But yeah, I mean, and we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun filming.
Oh, dude. I
the
mean, I
cinematic
want to
stuff.
do it again. Like, fuck season 5. Let's just start doing shit like that. Which, you know what? Honestly, we will, because that's what Pod Daddy is going to eventually turn into.
We're gonna do a bunch of stupid shit like this. Definitely check out Pod Daddy.
Yeah, a lot of skits are coming your way.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff because again, we got this really expensive camera and we want to try shit.
Why not?
We love doing podcasts and we're gonna continue to do that, but we want to try some new stuff for sure.
Yeah, we need to reach out to the young people.
Yeah. But then, Jessica takes my inspirational images, which I use Peaky Blinders and Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law's
Promo photos look so
Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, they look great.
My God.
So I was giving her slight direction, but ultimately, I wanted to leave her alone because she hates when I stand over her shoulder while she's.
But you should, because like you're directing it. You got the image in your mind of what you want, and that's how any professional company would run an editing room.
Sure.
You give the clear direction, you create the storyboard, and then you go from there.
Yeah, and I created the storyboard via text prompts on DaVinci, and I was like, okay, here's what this scene's going to be.
Which is
here's where
great.
This scene's going to be, and here's where this scene's going to be. If I had any artistic ability, I would have actually created a storyboard.
Doesn't matter. I'm glad you did what you did, because as a freelance actor, that is something that I just needed. I needed that slight bit of direction, but the ultimate creativity to be able to do what I wanted to do.
You executed what I had in my mind incredibly well. Do I wish I could go back and maybe reshoot something a little bit different? Yes, but that was mostly camera angles and movements and things like that. So that wasn't on you.
Aside from a $1,000 crane, I don't know what else we could have done.
But yeah, the Jessica did incredibly well with the promotional images, which we probably have up on screen now, and I'm just super happy with the way it turned out, and I'm very excited for season 5.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah. And we're scripting things differently.
Yeah.
For that, we're gonna do a slight little episode, maybe audio only.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that. So be looking out for that as well here on YouTube, as well as all
Everywhere.
of our audio listening platforms.
Yeah.
Still don't know how to say that properly, but we'll figure it out.
Wherever you get your podcast.
Wherever you get your podcast.
Thanks for watching this little behind the scenes thing. We were just excited about the intro. We wanted to talk about it.
It was too much fun.
Thanks. Get ready for season 5, bitches.
Boom.